Yo, welcome back to the fatherhood. Chad the dad, Pete Rock. What's up, man?
How are you, man? Happy belated birthday, buddy.
Thank you, sir. Getting old is not so much fun.
It's fun, man. It's fun. It's good. Yeah, man. How you been, dude? It was nice seeing you this weekend. Brought the whole family over. Jumped in the pool a little bit. That was a good time. Busted some chops. Ate. I'm still full.
So much food.
Yeah.
Now we got the kids together. That was nice. You know, having 5 kids, a little co-parenting, never hurt anybody. So it was nice. A little swim in the pool. A lot of food. A lot of smoked meat was consumed for sure. So
it was good, man. Redneck Barbecue Lab too. That sauce is the truth.
Shout out to Redneck Barbecue Lab. Best barbecue sauces out there. If you haven't had it, you need to go find it and buy it. It is amazing. And they're not a sponsor of the program, but we'd be happy to have them. Amazing sauces.
For real.
So what's new with you? Any new parenting stories for you this week? Anything off the top, or we just want to hop right in?
No, I make sure you do your homework. I took my girls down to Greenville for a Little League Softball World Series yesterday, and we made it down. Great time, but we got down. I thought we were the Southeast team. I thought North Carolina was Southeast, but turns out, Chad, there is also a North Carolina host team, and I assume they're going to start hosting this year every year. So I don't know if North Carolina's going to get in, but it was pretty cool. We went. We stayed for about a half inning. We got there early because I had no idea what to expect, and hit the gift shot hard, and then the sun hit us real hard for about a half inning. And but it was fun. We sat behind the North Carolina team, so all the other girls that were sitting in there, they all had their uniforms on, but the North Carolina girls were just kind of dressed in plain clothes, and they were all sitting there, and my girls were jumping around and having a good time, eating cotton candy for breakfast and popcorn. But it turns out Annalyn Clark was the girl that we were talking with, or just briefly communicated with, finding out who they were, and she was the starting pitcher tonight, and they went 2-0 today. So shout out to Johnston County, North Carolina, in the Little League World Series, man. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Once in a lifetime thing. So yeah. So just do your homework, dude. Make sure you know what the hell you're doing, where you're going, what team's what. Because we just don't know. So just make sure. Yeah. That's what I learned, man. But honestly, it was a fun ride no matter what. So it was all good.
No, I love it, man. I spent the weekend celebrating the birthday. Like I said, getting old, not as much fun as it used to be. No real parties to be had, just hanging out with the kids. Woke up. We had a couple long days, man. I was just kind of out of it. So we wasn't the best day for me, just because I was just kind of out of it, a little beat down. But we kind of made up for it today. Went out to some birthday dinner and did a few things today as well. So me and Connor did make it to the card store Saturday. Loaded up. We did rip some packs yesterday, so that was a lot of fun. But yeah, man, it's just a different world, man. It went from hosting big parties that some of the listeners may remember on my birthdays to kind of low key these days, which is also good. But no, it was fun, man. Another year down, and hopefully many more to go. But I can't complain, man. So
I remember 5 years ago, we were so ready for your 40th, bro. And what was it called? COVID?
Yeah, a little thing called COVID shut down the 40th birthday. It was that was disappointing. We had a very large party planned, ready to roll. That was kind of the downfall to my birthdays. I feel like I don't think they've ever. It didn't help that my dad had been day 12 in the hospital with COVID. So between that, not wanting to get the friends sick, or didn't feel like a great time. I think it would have been August of 2021. So I mean, it was kind of that second wave. Was not a lot of fun to have to not do that. Looking forward to seeing anybody. Maybe we're gonna redo it sometime. But 2020, a lot of weird things. Got married that year. Didn't have my birthday party. there was a lot of weird things that 2020, 2021. But
it was supposed to be like that was the year like Taco Tuesday was on a Tuesday. Like Halloween was on a Friday night. Everything was lining up, and then it was just so funny how the universe shut us down. But we got, every 6 years you get to just do it all over again the same way. So it's fine. Don't forget to eat.
Well, let's hop right into what's trending, man. We got a couple. We're gonna try to show some videos today. So like I said, we're trying to get a little better every day we do this. That's our goal in life. But also when it comes to podcasting, just trying some new things and see if we can actually get some videos up here, sharing it with some volume, so the viewers can watch as well. So we'll get trending. But the first story I want to pop up, basically a mom tells her identical triplets no, and apparently all three are emotionally connected, maybe via Bluetooth or something, because all three kids instantly just melt down. Let's see if I can pop this thing up here to show you.
I'll take them
because it is pretty funny. Here we go. It's on mute.
Back here, she's already crying. Ready? Noelle? No.
Those poor babies. You can't tell them no.
I mean,
you can't tell those babies no.
Seriously, how ridiculous is that? I mean, you have three kids, so
yeah,
I mean,
they're triplets.
Yeah, not triplets, but you have three.
Yeah, 3 peas in a pod. But that's pretty funny and adorable. Man, that's gonna be a ride, dude. Right? I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that kids feel each other's? We have siblings. My kids are 18 months apart, so. Do you think they actually feel each other's emotions and just, or they just enjoy the chaos and they just want to join in on it? Because my kids will do that as well. Like if one of them's upset, I mean, they both just start crying.
Yeah. And especially like a couple years ago, right? When they were even younger, it was like, no, please, no. Cause then, oh, okay. And then it's just, pouring water on the fire. Dude, I think on that level, like with triplets, man, that is, dude, if they're identical, they're all, there's other wavelengths out there that we do not understand. I know this. And I certainly think that triplets can definitely feel, I mean, my sister and I grew up together real close, spending all the time together. And, looking back, like we went through we went through similar emotions at similar times, and who knows if we were feeding off each other, but whatever. I definitely think that those little nuggets can, but it's just, you can't say no, man, especially to a triplet.
We talk about it all the time, how our kids kind of mirror our energy, or, I know we've talked about this a ton on Dadvice and some other times. I mean, do you think that parents can kind of accidentally escalate a situation? Like you get a little loud, a little frustrated. You think that makes it worse for your kids?
Yes. Yeah. That's why I've just chill it out and like have learned to think in the moment or mentally prepare, and just stop, man. Just breathe in, breathe out. I know it sucks, but like it really does. Like my littlest one, man, she's terrible twos right now in a way sometimes. She's 4 years old, but she acts like a freaking 2-year-old, which is the definition of terrible twos. It's not when they're 2. But she sometimes, man, if it doesn't go her way, and the things I was actually talking with my freaking therapist about is like the things that don't go her way are the things I cannot control. And man, she just flips the switch. And sometimes I used to like, jar back or, some sparring a little bit, like, oh, okay, really? And she would just get more mad. And she did it yesterday on the way back from the softball game, something I could not control. And I just kind of turned the music up a little bit and ignored it, and it went away a whole lot quicker. And I felt better. So me just kind of pumping the brakes, knowing that, dude, absolutely, if you come with energy that's like that, dude, you're going to escalate the situation 100%. So try to, like I said, just, find the brake pedal, man. Like, I don't know. I don't want to escalate the situation any more than it needs to be escalated, because I don't need that. I don't need that for blood pressure, my anxiety.
No, I agree. I think I see that with my own kids quite a bit. Like I said, a little frustrated yesterday. Just kind of woke up tired, just a little out of it. It was supposed to be, kind of a happy day being the birthday, and just I could tell just my energy was, bringing others down. And I was like, I just honestly, I just had to step away. I was like, let me run the store. We had to pick up a couple things anyway, so I was like, let me just run out, just kind of get this out of my system because like I just needed a minute. Sometimes you just need that mental break, and I just didn't want my energy to continue to bring others down. So certainly get it, and I do think. Kids can pick up on that for sure. So
So get out some 10 minutes, man. Sometimes is all it takes. Running the store, it can be liberating, for the day.
Yeah. So this next one, this is a good one, dude. So is there anything that you own that you would climb into a porta potty to recover? Because let's pull this up real quick.
Good God, man.
I'm gonna get this started so you can hear how intense they are drilling this human being out of the porta potty, and then we'll put it on mute. In the city, there was a gentleman stuck in a porta potty. Mute that down a little bit while I play.
Are they pulling out the jaws of life to get this dude out of a plastic toilet box? Like, he's in the thing. Like,
so
he's in the
He's in the thing. He is in the toilet.
Basic?
He spent 8 hours in the porta potty to retrieve a Mountain Dew.
Shut up. No.
He was actually there. One of the cleaning companies, Patriot Portable Restrooms, a family-owned business out of California. Shout out to them, I guess. They deliver porta potties around the country. They said the driver came to service the porta potty, knocked on the door. The guy said he was in there, so the employee left and came back. When the man didn't leave, an officer happened to be nearby, opened the unit. There appeared to be nobody there until he saw the man's head pop out of the toilet. Said the man claimed to be there for 9 hours. He'd been trying to retrieve his Mountain Dew bottle. I mean, they're still got him out, bro. He's been in there.
Was there Mountain Dew in the Mountain Dew bottle? There had to be some sort of something that he absolutely had to have? Because you go get another Mountain Dew, or you tip the damn thing over. If it's a wedding ring, you just.
I mean, if you had a Mountain Dew, like even if you got said Mountain Dew, would you still drink the Mountain Dew out of that toilet? Like, I mean, I think, I've dropped some beers in the porta potty before, and I'm like, oh, I need a new beer. Like, I ain't go, even if it was unopened, I'm letting that thing go, man. I mean,
when you first said porta potty, I'm thinking like, man, the dude did not know how to do the easy slide lock, or something got in the way of that thing. The dude. And what do the firemen just like, dude, you're on your own from here on out, dude. We pulled these things out. I'd be letting him get out on his own, man. I'm not throwing a blanket over that dude or nothing. Like, why are you getting in the shitter, dude?
Oh, yeah, I got a lot of questions.
I have so many, like the Mountain Dew. I mean, we gotta drug test them.
I mean, how much is Mountain Dew these days? I mean, actually, I'd say soda's like
depends on the Mountain Dew.
I remember they used to be $1. I mean, 20-ounce bottle used to be $1. They're like $2.50 now. I mean,
I had this midnight rush. I just had a midnight rush from Taco Bell. Didn't get cycloceria or anything, but maybe a bottled version of the midnight rush might make me reach into one elbow deep, but certainly not. I'm not getting my socks wet. Hell no.
I mean, how long? I mean, does the guy not have a phone? Did he not like call someone? Like, being in there. Okay, you fell in his porta potty. That's just a weird thing to be part of. But like, do you not have I mean, I guess if you're going in there for $2,
I mean,
Mountain
he's
Dew,
got to put it in rice now, dude. He's certainly got to put it in rice. Maybe Orzo does the trick with this stuff, but like, you don't have a phone anymore. If you did.
I mean, there's his hand. He's still trying to get out. Like, this video is still going. They're still cutting this guy out. I
don't know why they cut that way. How are you going to get this guy out? I mean, he did get in the first place. Like, could he not find the light? Like, I don't get it. There's vents in the top there. Like, submerged.
Yeah, I think they show the guy. They don't show him getting out, I think, but they kind of show like a still shot at the very end of this thing. It's almost there. But I can't think of anything I would go in the porta. I mean, I wear a $20 rubber wedding ring, and this is probably iteration like 8 of this thing over a 5-year span. I mean, I don't think. I mean, my cell phone, I guess, because there's a lot of things on there. I mean, I'd be really unhappy about it, but I think that would be the one thing I would maybe try to recover. I mean, obviously car keys. I mean, even that would be just tough. I mean, I would, yeah.
Dude, you're knocking. I'm knocking it over. I'm calling somebody. They got an 800 number on the back of each of those things. You know, for emergencies just like this, Chad. I'm sure this is not a one-off.
I think they show the guy.
The only time ever with a camera.
Like, oh, there he is. You can kind of see him to the left. It's a little hard to see. It was just a quick still shot they showed. But yeah, I mean, that was, I saw that. I mean, that thing went obviously pretty viral, and that is wild. I mean,
there's a job.
Yeah, I mean,
that guy's got a future in sewage repair, dude. The guy could dive in dump tanks and go fix the pumps. You know,
I mean, he's so ridiculous.
He's crossed the fear off his list, I guess. You know, like once you go that far, you know, it's probably okay to, you know.
I mean, if the guy was trying to service the thing and he's like, "Hey, I'm in here," like, why wouldn't you be like, "Bro, I am stuck in here"? I mean, I have so many questions for this guy, but again,
I do.
To get $2 Mountain Dew, I don't think there'd be a lot of conversation that you could have with a gentleman like that personally.
You know, the story, the video is enough to watch, and then you're like, I just don't understand how. Yeah. Anyway, a Mountain Dew.
Yeah, that was a wild one. So here's the other story I got. Not as much of a story, but a little bit of a question. My wife actually sent me this. It sounds like a pretty simple question, but when you really start thinking about it, it gets a little bit deeper. Let me play the video real quick and then see what you think about this, because it's a good way to look at things. And
my grandma asked me today, if everyone in the world wrote down their problems and put it in a hat, would you risk grabbing someone else's or take yours back? And I don't think I'll ever be the same. My grandma.
I mean, what do you think about that? What a question that is.
That's good. I don't think it changes my life like that, but it certainly is a good question. Puts things into perspective, no doubt. I feel like I know my answer like right off the bat, but I feel like my mind could be changed. I mean, I would not. I would keep my own problems. I feel because. Yeah, dude, you never know what you're going to grab in that hat, bro. And like thinking of my life comparatively, like I feel so grateful and fortunate that I'm dealing with these issues that, you know, I can mostly control. You know, imagine, you know, for me, that's easy, bro. And so like, plus, you know, when you start to, you know, if you start paying attention to life, you see a trend and stuff like that, and you can start preparing for it and handle things better next time around. So I would rather keep the issues I had and work to get them better rather than pulling the old, you know, I don't know, like.
I mean, you throw it out there and you go reach your hand in that. I mean, all of a sudden you might grab out someone who can't afford food for their kids, who hasn't eaten. I mean, there's people starving in this world. I just thought that was my wife sent me that and I was like, holy moly, like what a question. Yeah,
dude, I mean, it's a great question. And the more you think about it, the more you say it out loud, or like I'm just doing it in my head, like the more it is just like, it's a great conversation starter and it's a great thing to think about. And it's a great question to always ask yourself, keep it back there. If you were to put your problems in a hat, what would be a problem that you could pull out? Like one that would be favorable. You can't get the Lamborghini in the color you want. That would be right. That would be a good one.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I've been trying to think about that. I mean, do you think most people would choose their own problems? Because I mean, I feel like there's some people that are pretty down on their luck. That's like, you know what, just let me take a gamble. But I would think.
I think right now most people are down on their luck, and I think right now a lot of people would jaw at the opportunity to take on something else because theirs are unmanageable already, right? And that's why I say I'm grateful, man, because you know, working hard and, being in the right spot and, privilege, not that I ever had anything given to me, but you get it. But yeah, I mean, I honestly I would certainly keep, but man, it's something to think about. Like, I'm going to start asking that.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
mean, I
start
think
asking
it.
great
I mean,
questions.
it kind of like dancing with the devil, a little bit. You kind of know your problems. You kind
Yeah,
of been
I
dealing with them for
love
a
it.
while,
Love
but
dancing with the devil.
I mean, there's so many people going through so much worse shit. I say that all the time. Like, and I'm not saying this to sound arrogant or anything because shit, I'm sitting here unemployed as we speak. I mean, I got plenty of things that I could probably write down and throw in that bucket, but I've also think that there'd be people that would probably kill for my worst day. Like when you really talk about like other
Yeah,
countries, like poverty stricken, war,
100%.
people in the middle of like war zones and stuff. So like, there's a lot to be thankful for. I agree with you. I obviously it kind of when you think about it like that, puts your problems in a different perspective, um, for sure. And then the other thing I like to remind myself, and I read this somewhere, but think about 10 years ago, like how proud of yourself 10 years ago would be of where you're at right now. And that's always one that really hits home for me because you're just like, man, I actually have everything I ever dreamed of 10 years ago. Like I have it now, but yet, there's still problems. There's still things you're battling through every day. But man, like you got to kind of take a step back sometimes and just be grateful, be thankful for what you got and where you're at because 10 years ago, I would have probably killed to be at where I'm at right this minute, and it just kind of puts things in perspective. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. 10 years ago, it'd be what, like, 6 years ago, before COVID, before sobriety, like I'd never imagined I'd be where I'd be. 10 years ago, I was coming out of a coma, and then, dude, I was just didn't know what was going on. I was happy to be alive, but I was screwing up that second chance right off the bat. But yeah, man, and that's the thing. Like I remind myself of this all the time. Like look around, and if I ever feel, a little bored or like, man, I kicking, just feel like I just putz around all the time. I'm doing things, I'm also engaging, interacting with my kids, but like this is what I wanted. Like why would I, like this? I wanted to like live in my own home in a suburb. I grew up in the hood. Like I wanted to live in a home on a cul-de-sac. That's where I got. I'm so lucky to be here, and I'm not striving for the next level yet. I'm just going to enjoy, what I worked for. And I bet a lot of people, it it may not be. It may not. Take a look at where you're at. Like, is it better than where you were 5 years ago? You got to soak it in a little bit because you're making improvements, and that's what we talk about. If you just get a little better year after year, be patient. Things will happen, man. So yeah, man, God, I'm grateful every day.
Me too. Me too.
Oh, shit.
So I think that question, really connects to parenting. Because it's real easy to look at other family and be like, hey, they have this all figured out. So I think it's a good transition to Dadvice because we've talked about this before on social media. You see all the smiling kids, the vacation pictures, you see the highlights of everybody's life all the time. And I know that we've talked about this already on the podcast, but also in person. So, I mean, there's definitely moments when you see another parent and you're like, man, they got this all figured out. Then you talk to them and realize that they're kind of all dealing with something. I mean, we've kind of done that on this. Have you ever kind of looked at another family and been like, oh man, they got this all figured out? I mean, granted, you didn't see the kid going crazy 5 minutes ago throwing stuff, do you ever do that when you're kind of out in public? Because we were eating dinner tonight and I was kind of thinking about that, like looking at another family, like, oh man, their kids are well behaved. Not that mine aren't, but it's just, little things I pick up now that I'm a dad. Have you ever looked at another family and just assume like, man, their parenting must be easy compared to what I'm going through every day?
I don't think I know, like, I am very aware that things go on behind the scenes. I was a bartender, you know what I'm saying? Like I watched dynamics change in real time. And, so it's impossible for me to look at somebody and being like, man, to me, I'm like, I'll see their kid being well behaved in a restaurant. I'm like, nice job, like, love that, give the kids that sit in the chair a name, like, stand up for those. it's hard. It's hard to, there's not a family that's not going through problems, right? There's always, internal stuff. It's funny because I turned on Mitchell's and the Machines a little bit ago, and you know how they envy that one family that is like super, fluffy on Instagram and all, or whatever it is, the social media there, and they're comparing them. But you know what? Who saves the world? Who kicks ass? Like mom. But yeah, it's I like to look at it. I like to look at it like, I wonder what's the deal here? Like, all right, what's the term I'm looking for? What's the catch? Like, all right, what's the catch here? Like,
what part of parenting do you think the parents hide the most? Do you think there is something that they're like, man, like I don't want anybody to know this, but like this, that was a tough one I was thinking about earlier too.
I mean, probably yelling, maybe. I don't know. What do they hide the most? I just think there's so many people hiding so many things. It's hard for me. It's hard for me to look at anybody that I don't really, So, but I could go out and I could sit and I could watch all day. That's what I did, and then I served them booze, So, you just everybody's got something going on, and that. I don't know. As far as parenting, what do they hide? What do I hide? I don't know.
Let me take it a different direction though. So, what advice would you give? We got a lot of new dads that listen to the show. We've had a few reach out to us. What advice would you give a dad who feels like everyone's doing better than him? What advice would you give him?
Oh, dude, no. Stop. Because if you're there, if you're present, you're doing a great job, man. Like if you're there, moms too. Like if you're there, you're doing a great job. There's no book, right? That's probably a cliche. Like there's no book. Every kid needs to be raised different. You can't forget where you came from. You got to look back and look at your childhood. You got to reflect on your own childhood, and you got to try to improve on that. Take the good you can from the job your parents did, and unfortunately there are some people out there that don't get to take any good from that, which is sad, should be the reason that you're different, right? It should be the reason that you put an effort in. But don't ever compare yourselves to other dads. You don't know their situation. They might look like they got it all together because they have a sweet ass tuna and, a backpack full of snacks in expensive containers and 3 sippy cups for their newborn child. Don't enjoy the moment you're in. Don't envy any other dads. Just enjoy the time that you're getting to spend with them. Have a conversation with them, and even if they can't talk, have a conversation with them because it's fucking fun. So yeah, don't compare yourself, dude. You're doing great.
No, I agree. I tell every new dad, I tell them the exact same thing. I said, my only advice for you is don't take advice from anybody else, including us, because again, we are not a parenting podcast, but we are here to share what works well and what doesn't work. But no, I tell everybody that same thing because you're going to write your own book. For anyone who thinks that maybe they're there, they're not. We're all just kind of winging it. That's why we're here to kind of make that more normal, to realize like, hey, we are very passionate about being dads. It's what we love to do. I know we both do. We were dadding the heck out of the pool party on Friday night with all of our kids here. But yeah, like you said, there's no book, there's no playbook, there's no right or wrong. It's just being present, being in the moment, and being with your kids is literally half the battle. Some of the worst kids I've seen for mothers, it's just, maybe the parents are gone a lot, working all the time. It happens, and sometimes they have to. I'm not even saying they're doing it because they want to. I'm just saying like they're gone or not present as much. And I think, like I said, just making an effort to be there, being every day, showing up. I think, at the end of the day, definitely my 2 cents as well.
And just just have those conversations where there's no return. Invest in those kids, man, because the payout, you'll feel it in your soul, man. It's just it's a joy that only a parent would know, honestly, and only a parent would appreciate. But yeah,
Agreed. Yeah. So I think my Dadvice takeaway would be you can be grateful for your family and your kids and still admit that the days are hard, because those two things can certainly coexist at the same time. So I think
Genius.
we'll leave
Very nice.
Dadvice at that. But I mean, that's ultimately where we're at now. All right, let's jump over. Yeah, we're kind of rearranging the show for the loyal watchers, all 15 of you that have watched probably
Super
every
fans.
episode. We are kind of cutting, moving things around, but we're kind of moving. We're just letting real talk kind of flow into Dadvice, because I think those were we were replicating two segments, so it was kind of throwing me off again. But we'll just jump right over to everybody's favorite, lighten this thing up a little bit, and get into everybody's favorite sports corner, sponsored by Rileywood Hobby Family. Come check us out on eBay. Things have been heating up on the eBay store. Pete, I heard you were you came and checked out the store a little bit, and took a look, took a little gander around.
I perused, which I did not break anything. My kids were well behaved. But yeah, I scrolled right through, got a lot of stuff that would be so cool at my house, but it's taken over by figurines and Play-Doh cakes, which is totally cool with me. But what you got, man? You got
a couple things. I mean, as far as the sports calendar, again, like we talked about last week, a little light on the sports right now. We still got baseball kicking along. I mean, my Pirates, I always say every year, if they can be above 500 on my birthday, that is a good year. And that's only happened maybe 5 times in my entire lifetime. And let's say maybe 3 times since Sid Bream ruined my childhood back in 1992, which we won't talk about. But yeah, that was a mess. But the Pirates lost yesterday on my birthday, very in blowout fashion, and are now 1 game below 500. So they did not keep up their end of the bargain. But they are playing well, and they didn't sell off their whole team at the trade deadline, or at least have not yet. So that's always a plus for me. So I don't know. Baseball's winding down. I mean, I love training camp. We talked about this last episode, but I mean, when the pads start getting put on and training camp's out, and man, it's just so much excitement. I get in text about when the fantasy drafts are all starting, so that's a lot of fun. But yeah, we'll get into a little bit of football preview, I think, as we get closer. I just think it's, they've been in camp less than a week. We'll certainly break that down for sure. But one thing I do want to show is, and bring up a little bit of a question. So I got a card for you that is currently on Rileywood Hobby Family's website. So I was looking at this card as well, but it also brought up a good question. And I don't know if you're familiar with one of my favorite players of all time.
I've heard of that guy.
This is a card of Mr. Randy Moss, who is probably one of, if not my favorite player as a child. He actually ran West Virginia. For those who have watched Rand University on 30 for 30, he grew up probably 15, 20 minutes down the road from where I grew up. I was in 6th grade, I think, when he was a senior. I mean, and has to be the most talented athlete I've ever seen. Not even close. I mean, the guy played baseball as a sophomore, was just hitting home runs. He made it to the state championship in basketball, was doing 360 dunks, and that was before every high school kid you saw could dunk a ball. Like you would go a whole season without seeing somebody dunk a basketball back in, what would this have been, 1995 or so? I mean, I can't even remember what year that would have been. I mean, this guy was dunking everywhere. I mean, they would kick him off. They would kick off the football game right to him. He'd be returning kickoffs, obviously, just run it back every time. I mean, you had to just kick the ball out of bounds, take your penalty, because he was just going to run. I mean, it was insane. Actually, something else I kind of pulled out of let me talk about this card a little bit, because it is for sale. This card is actually out of 5. So there was only 5 made. It was a pretty recently made card, 2017, what they call National Treasure. I don't know if you see how thick this bad boy is. But this is autographed. And I don't know if you can see that numbering, but yeah, this is number 4 out of 5. So these cards are numbered. The modern day cards have these numbers that kind of stuff. Means there was only 5 of these made. This is his first round draft pick. Yeah, 1998 is when he got drafted by the Vikings. But autographed one of my favorite
Marshall?
cards. He did well. There was actually a lot going on with that. He actually originally committed to Notre Dame. He was going to go there. He got in a very viral, before it was viral, fight in high school for someone who said the N-word or wrote it on a desk, I believe. And there was a big fight. I think Randy Moss ruptured the guy's spleen. Notre Dame said, you're not coming. He actually went to Florida State with Bobby Bowden, then got busted for, I believe it was some smoking weed, something along those lines after his 1 year when he was actually, I think he was redshirting. And then he ended up, at Marshall. And even when Marshall had Randy Moss, they still have never beat the West Virginia Mountaineers ever. So we'll throw that out there, being the two major universities in the state I'm from. Even with Randy Moss and Chad Pennington, they still could not beat West Virginia, but they still never have. So anyway, love Randy Moss. But something else that's really cool. So my dad sent me this down. I don't know how well you can see that.
I can see it perfectly.
When I was in sixth grade, I actually was at Special Olympics volunteering, and these guys were so famous. So if you might notice this guy right here, so Randy Moss's autograph is on here, but right here, Jason Williams, Mr. White Chocolate himself.
Yeah, number 99
in basketball. I think it's. I think it says 33 actually, and Randy Moss is up here. It says number 3 at the time. But these guys were so famous even in high school. They were at Special Olympics in the back, had a table set up just signing autographs for people because they were, so famous. But I love Randy Moss. The guy's been awesome. And like I said, it was very cool to watch him as a kid. Obviously I grew up somewhat of almost a hero to me because, he was, from where I was from. He was about 6 years older than me. Just really cool to watch. And I feel like
now you don't have the accent there, Chad. Now I love Randy Moss when he talks on, when he starts talking barbecue. You ever heard him talk like that? Like, I love that southern accent that comes out of Randy Moss when he starts going, man. I love it. I'll never forget Randy Moss catching that touchdown against the Giants week 18 back in 2007 for the Patriots. When he caught that touchdown, I said, we're going to lose this game, but we're going to beat them in the Super Bowl. I will never forget that. Anyway, Giants won.
Thank goodness you did. I've never rooted for a team that wasn't the Steelers as hard as I rooted for the Giants in that Super Bowl. I think I may have been with you. I was downtown Glenwood for sure watching that Super Bowl.
I was in Charlotte.
Okay. So, you were not there, but I was with our old crew. So, shout out to the old Glenwood crew.
It was the first year I moved from Raleigh to Charlotte, and I remember like pictures being sent were kind of new. And I remember getting so many pictures of all these fans, all of my close friends that were not Giants fans, everybody decked out from head to toe in Giants stuff. Oh, what a time to be alive that was. I'm watching it with my boy Waleed. It was a good time. I carried my 42-inch TV around and was like, here, we're going to watch it here.
Do you have a childhood doesn't have to be necessarily hero or just someone that you just loved as a kid? I had a few, but obviously that one being kind of close to home, but just someone you absolutely adored as a kid that you're like, man, this is my guy. And maybe you still root for him today or,
Man, it was Michael Jordan. It was hard not to, man. We had WGN on the TV back in the Rock, and we got to watch every Michael Jordan game. So, and I had multiple posters of him on the wall. But, I got big into football early. So I remember like reading all these like books, like going back to the prior to the Super Bowl, like just looking at pictures, reading books, just flipping through them as a kid. We didn't have, all the stuff these kids have. So Lawrence Taylor, without a doubt, I just remember like loving him, always wanted a Taylor jersey. It took me 40 years to get one, but I got one. And I just remember Barry Sanders when I'd have the opportunity to watch him on TV. I was just like this because they would show slow motion back in the day. They would show slow motion back in the day, and the dude was just like stopping, move. He was like doing the robot, dude. That dude rushed for more yards behind the line of scrimmage than he ever rushed for in front. He's the
It's
greatest.
so
of all time,
funny.
but
We did not script this at all. I had no idea what you were going to say, but just randomly I was pulling out cards from my childhood collection and putting them in new top letters day. And I literally, the two cards that were sitting beside me were Michael Jordan and Barry Sanders.
Hey, dude. You got an
That's
LT in there?
hilarious. I don't have any LT cards, but I guess my philosophy is that I had a lot of FOMO this weekend watching the National Sports Convention, which is the biggest card show of the year. Largest in the country. It rotates. Normally it's in Chicago or Cleveland. I don't know why there's two cities, but it rotates back and forth typically. But man, I mean, the Michael Jordan cards, I guess, were selling off the shelves. I mean, people were just paying just outrageous prices. People were like, this hobby is now Michael Jordan's hobby. Like that was how big, and obviously being in Chicago probably didn't help the cause there. But I mean, but I'm looking to really invest in, and I've, because obviously the Michael Jordan and the Kobe Bryant market, the Ohtani market I've talked about is crazy, but I still think this next rung of absolute superstars, I'd put Randy Moss in that category. I was thinking people like Shaq. I was a big Penny guy, Barry Sanders. I think that's the next big, kind of boom when it comes to cards, because you can only, there's only so many Michael Jordan cards, only so many Kobe Bryant cards. Eventually you're going to have to shift to kind of that next level. So I've been personally buying up a lot of Randy Moss cards. I got a really sweet one I bought for my birthday last night. When it gets here, I'll show it on a future episode. But I've been loading up on Moss, and I'll sell them. I mean, this one's for sale right now on eBay. Obviously trying to make a few bucks, and I normally price those a little higher, knowing that, hey, I'm okay holding on to this card because I love it. But if somebody pays me the right price, then they can have it. But I think that's the next venture where the card market's going, is just kind of that next little tier, kind of that secondary, like still top tier of players, but just a little below that Jordan, Kobe. I think you're going to see some money to be made coming up, because I think there's a lot of nostalgia involved as well, which I think is a very powerful info. So that's just,
I'm all about the nostalgia. Bring it back, man. Send me a Game Boy.
If you want to get somebody's money or get somebody fired up, tap into their nostalgia, and man, you are going to be in for it, because that's why I think even when the whole Michael Jordan, LeBron arguments were so heated, is because people felt like you were attacking their childhood by saying LeBron was better than Michael Jordan, which I think he is. But, I feel like that's why that always got so heated, is because it's like Michael Jordan is so many people's childhood, mine as well. I love Michael Jordan. I got 20 pairs of Jordans up, I got cards. I got a cut out Michael Jordan life size in my garage. Like, I love Michael Jordan.
Sure.
But I do think if you tap into what made us, I think that's why the cards are so much fun. And I think that's why it's having such a revival in the industry right now, is that a lot of people it's just kind of tapping into your childhood a little bit, maybe going back and getting some of those cards you lost and, redoing it. And it's been pretty fun.
It's hard not to buy like an old baseball pack. If I take the kids to like a Pokemon show or something like that, which, done a few times, I always got to get one of those packs. But dude, the way those things are glued, you can open up, take the cards out, put them back. So that's why I never really trust buying them, and the gum. Just give it to the kids. Give it to the kids. See if they put it in. It's not going to kill them.
Not like cracking a 1987 Topps baseball pack and get that gum now to 30 years old. That's doesn't. I've seen a few people on YouTube do that, and it doesn't seem like it's something that I would want to do. Gum doesn't really hold up in a wax pack of baseball cards very well, from what I've been told. All right, Pete. I mean, heck of an episode. I think we got through it a little quicker, like the flow, trying to work on some things. We got the video playing, so hey, we're making progress. I've said this thing is going to be baby steps. The goal is to crank out about 10 or so episodes before we get into football season. That's been kind of our preseason, I guess you could say, timeline for this. Looking forward to continue to progress on the show. I mean, today we've learned that triplets share an emotional operating systems, it seems like. Mountain Dew, definitely not worth going into a Porta-Potty for. I think that's pretty evident. And most of us, I think, would, probably keep our problems over others. So one question.
You don't want my shit.
What's that?
You don't want to deal with what I'm dealing with.
No.
I don't want to deal with what you're dealing with, Chad.
So at the bottom, we'll say, would you risk switching your problems with someone else's? Let us know in the comments. And again, something that we almost forgot to say, you got to make sure to like and subscribe. I know it's Do you want to say it, Pete? Do you want to say it?
Please like and subscribe.
I mean, that just helps us know that we're doing a good job. Even if you only have a couple minutes, if you catch one of our clips, just like and subscribe. Just keep this rolling. Give us a little bit of love without having to go out of your way too much. So we do appreciate all of that. So yeah, I mean, I think that's a wrap for today's episode. Like I said, we'll be back every week. We're trying to still figure out the set schedule. So with that, we'll call it a wrap.
All right. Mad love.